Hello neighbor, this is Curt with eTrailer. Today we're going to be talking about the RockyMounts MonoRail bike rack on our 2025 Hyundai Palisade. Now if this is a bike rack that you have purchased and you've got some experiences and stories to share, go ahead and leave those in the comments below. We'd love to share your stories with our other neighbors in order to help them make the best decision for themselves. Now if you've been on the hunt for a platform 2-bike bike rack to go on your Palisade, the MonoRail by RockyMounts could be the right one for you. It is a wheel-mounted bike rack. It allows for 60 pounds per bike tray, so it can accommodate some of those lighter weight e-bikes that are out there. And it's actually a really easy bike rack to operate, mainly because they have color-coded all of the points that you really need to be able to pay attention to. So the trigger here on our hook and post, we've got a little bit here on the post. We've got another one here on each of the wheel tabs. And of course our handle at the bottom that's going to control the pitch of our bike rack. But first I just want to kind of take a look at how this is fitting on our Palisade. Now I want to start off by saying that we've selected one of the larger bikes that we have here in order to do this fit. So the handlebars here are a little over 15 inches, so pretty wide handlebars. And as you can see, we're not in any danger of making contact with the back of the vehicle. Even if we were driving down some rougher terrain and I give it a really good shake, we're really not coming close to actually touching the vehicle. But with any platform bike rack, we're going to lose some visibility out of the back. Of course, it comes up into our rear windshield. We are going to have a little bit of blockage on our rear view camera. And for other drivers on the road, we're going to have some partial blockage to our taillights and to our license plate as well. But in regards to that rear view camera, because that's going to be blocked a bit, it is important to know how much room you've got behind your bumper when you have this bike rack on. So measuring to this point, which is the furthest point from the bumper, we are at about 31 and a half inches. So keep that in mind. You've got almost another 3 feet coming off of the back of the bumper that you need to be accounted for whenever you're backing into a tight space or trying to parallel park. Another thing that's good to keep in mind when you have a bike rack on here is what kind of ground clearance you have. So from the furthest point of the bike rack to the ground, we've got about a 20-inch ground clearance, and that's actually a really good one. So that doesn't make me too concerned about any steep inclines or driveways that you might encounter, but it is something that you always want to keep in mind. Now I had also mentioned that this bike rack can handle bikes up to 60 pounds per tray. So if you have one of those heavier 50 or 60 pound e-bikes, you're going to want to make sure that you're comfortable with lifting it up to about 23 inches in order to get it up and down off of this rack. There is just a slight tier going up, so it might be a ½ inch to an inch higher back here on this one. But that's something that you want to make sure you're comfortable with before you get this bike rack and you have to lift that up and down. Another really common concern when it comes to bike racks is, will you have access to your lift gate? And for the MonoRail, the answer is yes. So we've got this blue handle under here, again, very easy to see. So if you're in low visibility, you'll be able to operate this easily. We're just going to pull back on that, brace our bike as we lower it down and away from our tailgate. Now we can come around and we're going to end up getting full access into our lift gate. Now that means that with bikes on the rack, I can get in here, I can change my shoes, grab my helmet, any other equipment, water maybe that I need to hit the trail, or maybe I'm coming back from riding my bike and I want to hit the grocery store and load up on some groceries. I can have full access to my entire cargo area, even with bikes on the rack. And in order to get it back into its riding position, it's really very simple. No mechanism involved. You just want to brace the bike, lift up on the rack until it clicks back into place, and now we're ready to drive with it. So getting a bike on and off of here is really easy as well. There are only 2 points of contact. We've got the tower and hook here that's grabbing our wheel, and then we have this ratcheting wheel strap back here in the back. So the first thing we want to do in taking our bike off is go ahead and hit this tab, and we're going to feed the strap back through our spokes and across the wheel and out of the way. Now we're going to brace our bike. Again, we've got this bright blue trigger, so it's very easy to see at night. And we're going to go ahead and engage that, lift our hook all the way up and out of the way, clear the wheel, and now we're able to remove our bike from the rack and either store it or hit the trail. Now, the monorail weighs about 38 pounds, so it might not be something that you want to remove and replace in the hitch every time you want to take your bike out. Luckily, it does also have a stowaway position. We're going to use the same handle we used for the tilt-away. We're just going to pull that back, tilt it up against the bumper here, and let it lock into place. Now that we've got that, we could go ahead and take a measurement, and now we've only got 12 inches coming off of the back here. So we took nearly 2 feet off of the back of our bumper back here, so this is going to make it a lot easier for you to get in and out of those tighter spaces. We've also freed up visibility of our taillights. We're going to have much better visibility coming out of our rear view camera. We have some partial blockage of the license plate, but it's generally going to be pretty readable all by itself. So all in all, I think the monorail from Rocky Mounts could be an excellent choice for you and your Hyundai Palisade. I'm Curt with eTrailer. Thanks for stopping by.